And then all your properties, do you do a master lease on them?
No, and I'm glad we don't. Yeah. So yeah, the first 10, 15 properties we did because, you need to build the brand, you need to, get track record and data. But from last year, we switched to a management agreement, so revenue share with the owners. And so, yeah, that's kind of saving us right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of the Co-Living Code Show. This is airing on a Saturday instead of a Wednesday. I didn't want to wait that long. This is fresh off the press. We definitely wanted to talk about the coronavirus in co-living on a global level. Found the perfect person to come on. It is Emmanuel, who's the founder of Outsite, which has 17 locations around the world, multiple countries. And what prompted me to bring him on, honestly, is this week, this Tuesday, he wrote an email, published it to his whole list, put it on LinkedIn, and I got the email, and I'm going to read it to you so it kind of sets the tone for this interview. It's really an incredible email and resonated with me as soon as I read it. It has been a crazy week. As I write, countries are closing their borders to flatten the curve and avoid the worst of the coronavirus. Italians cannot drink their espresso at their corner bar. Cyclists are at risk of being fined in Spain. And even the London Marathon has been postponed. In Belgium, my country, you could still go for a jog, but the schools, bars, and shops are closed. This is surreal, and it looks like it's only the beginning. Following the U.S. administration travel ban last week, we had our worst week on record. Our cancellations outnumbered our new bookings. However, we are not closing our co-living spaces. This may seem counterintuitive considering these are shared living spaces, and upon visiting any Outsite, you will find a diverse group of residents from all over the world. Why would we continue to provide a space where the infection may well take hold? Is this irresponsible? In the last survey we conducted with Outsite members, we found that 42% of them were permanently living in short-term leases like Outsite or an Airbnb. Anna, a health coach and entrepreneur from Sweden, said, "When I decided to start my own business, I gave up my apartment back in Copenhagen as I wanted to travel and work from different places." Outsite members are not necessarily travelers, but they're also not residents. They work and they tend to stay in one location for a few months at a time, 57% of them, according to the last survey. While the stay-at-home messaging works with those with a permanent home base, a family close by, or perhaps a tight-knit group of friends in one neighborhood, it does not work for a digital nomad. To stay at home is to stay where they are. If we were to close our locations right now, these people would lose the place they know to be home. The definition of home changes from person to person and culture to culture, but when you look it up, you'll usually find it's associated with family. It should come as no surprise that in 2020, the definition of family has changed, but the innate want for human connection is still there. This is where co-living will make a difference. When questioned about her experience with the spaces, Anna said, "I've made incredible lifelong business and personal connections through this community. While traveling for work, Outsite provides spaces that I know will be centrally located in the city, have a great safe space, and offer the workspace I need at an affordable price. I love knowing that no matter where I am in the world, there's likely to be an Outsite that I can easily book and feel confident in so I can concentrate on what I'm there to do." In a time where our members are feeling nervous or they're in a place where they don't speak the local language, it seems to us that the real irresponsible thing to do would be to remove them from the place they're considering to be home during this crisis. In the past week, we've rolled out measures to contain the spread of COVID-19 in our spaces, but the members living in-house had already started looking out for one another. Whether it's someone sharing a positive piece of news, an invite to an in-house coffee break, or simply someone checking in on you to check to see if you're okay, the sense of community co-living provides is needed more than ever. By all means, control the spread. We have our own tactics for doing this too, but we won't stop operating during this time. We'll continue to operate for as long as we're able to provide a home to our members, knowing that there will be a silver lining to this. When it's over, we'll see spikes in travel, a new audience for remote work, a stronger team, and more importantly, a more united world. Until then, I hope you all stay safe wherever you are. Emmanuel, Outsite CEO. Again, wanted to read that first to set the tone. Let's launch right into the interview. It was great for him to take the time and answer some questions I had, and hopefully you guys get value out of this interview. So welcome to the show, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for coming on with short notice. I know we met in person, gosh, it was a few years ago here in San Diego.
Yeah.
It was a launch party when you opened up one of your San Diego properties. So
Mm-hmm.
welcome to the show. And I know we had Josh Martin. He's on your team. He came on, gosh, it's probably been over a year now. Told us about Outsite in general as a concept, but now, what prompted me to reach out and wanting to bring you on so quickly onto the show was that, I know you guys have, is it 17 locations around the world now?
Yes, I think with 15 different cities, and we have 30 properties. Yeah,
Amongst how many different countries?
six.
6 different countries. Okay. So again, we know with the coronavirus around the world, the date right now, it's March 20th. We definitely, I saw this amazing email you had sent out just a couple days ago. And that's why I reached out, was like, you guys had a positive, outlook and just kind of telling everybody what was going on. So do you want to launch into that and what made you send that notice out to everybody?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I feel basically we had two. I mean, we had to make the choice between shutting everything down, like like a lot of businesses, like especially social businesses, like restaurants and hotels. And that would have been the easy solution, because then it's like it's like a long a long unpaid vacation, right? But then we realized that we have a lot of people, a lot of guests and members in our houses, and that's because of the nature of of the lifestyle, that like the remote workers and location independent, they don't really have a home. They basically like can't rely on outside as a home base. And so we talked to a few of them, and we realized that the best thing we could do is actually to stay open at most of our locations. And yeah, we decided to let everybody knows, like investors, landlord, and the outside community as well.
I love that. And another thing I wanted to congratulate you on, and people can go to your website, was that, staying with Outsite during COVID-19. And you guys had these categories, 20% off your bookings, FAQ for coronavirus, and then the letter you wrote on why you guys decided to stay open. Did you implement that this week?
Yeah, that new homepage was, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. It's very fresh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, and it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Did your team help you guys kind of put that together?
Yeah, that was actually the homepage was an idea for head of growth, Colin. So basically what happened is just, everything was kind of normal until the US administration decided to do that travel ban from Europe. Then from that day, everything went south, like I said in the email. But because we have we're a remote team, we're very lean and very reactive, we really quickly reacted, and we decided to create like a different task force, for marketing, community, operations, also like for the supply side. And so we quickly want to make that big decision of staying open. And then the other decision we quickly made is to basically reposition the product towards more like long-term stays, and to do that promo for people that wanted to basically stay at Outsite during those ban. I mean, because at the time it was banned. I know it's lockdown, so now it's like basically during the lockdown.
Yeah, because are you in California right now?
Yeah, I mean in San Diego.
Encinitas. Okay, you're right down the
Yeah,
street. Hey, we could have
yeah.
done it in person, but we can't
Not anymore. Yeah.
because they locked down the whole state of California. 40 million people last night.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, we need to get ahead of this. It's just getting worse and worse, and so I'm glad they're getting really strict about it for sure. So that's good. I know again, and we read your entire letter. Before we launched. The beginning of this, before we came on, I read the whole letter, so people understand it. You had said in that letter, that was your worst week on record. You had more cancellations than bookings. Like, were you expecting that? Were you kind of getting ready for that? Like,
No, we didn't expect that. We didn't expect the travel ban to come that, I mean, at least that quickly, right? We did expect the lockdown, but again, not that quickly. I'd say everything just goes quicker than we expected. But I must say that now things are getting back to normal. We still getting bookings, and people extending, and we're not getting a lot of cancellation anymore, because the people that cancel were mostly because we have different kind of members and customers, and we had a lot of people like on business travelers, that want to spend like a week or a month at a location, and those like all those people basically cancel. But the core customers, like the people that like the remote workers and the nomads, I mean, yeah, some cancel because they just want to be back home with their families, right? But a lot of them actually keep booking or extend it. So that actually can keep us afloat, and that's really good to see.
Again, out of curiosity, with all the cities you're in, which cities actually performed better? Like people stayed versus jumped out of there?
San Diego, actually.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah. I think it's a good place to. It's a good place to be. I mean, it's actually. I mean, now we're not supposed to go out anymore. We have to see how that's going to spell out. I think you can still. I mean, I think you can still go for a run by yourself. I think that's still allowed. But it's a bit. Yeah, it's not very clear.
Yeah, no, it was definitely driving home on the freeway because it happened I was already out and about. We were hiking because I knew they were going to lock everything down. So we're hiking Torrey Pines, and yeah, we saw it. It was like 9:00 done. And then, yeah, the freeways emptied out quick. So it's kind of surreal, a little bit surreal.
It
For
is.
sure.
Yeah. And I think, I suspect the beaches are going to be closed like pretty soon, maybe next week.
Because you're in Encinitas, do you see surfers out or people running on the beach today?
I haven't gone out of the house.
Okay, you're
But
staying.
I was looking at the camera. I was looking at like a surf camera, and there were people surfing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Of course, the diehards, they still want to go out. So as far as, marketing for the future, is there any other, other than the website, is there any other innovative approaches you're doing, trying to deal with like future? And again, so everything's so uncertain. So I don't know how you're like planning for the future.
Not really. I mean, we kind of have a plan of having really immediate like sales and booking for the next 2 months. We just need to wait, how long it's going to last. So we're just going to take that time to think about the, more like work on the product and the guest experience and how we can, getting get new properties in a different way. But I don't think, I mean, we cut all our, Facebook, Instagram ads, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of cut a lot of that.
No,
Yeah.
that's good. I see some
But
still running for other places, and I'm like, maybe they forgot to turn them off right now.
yeah, I think maybe sometimes there's a bit of a delay, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're still going to run Instagram stories on our members, like in the house, like, and to see what they do during, the lockdowns.
Yeah, and then I know, everybody was super worried, people that don't co-live, like, oh, there's all these people living together from around the world. Like, what if somebody gets sick? Do you know of any cases in any of your properties?
No, I mean, at least not yet.
Oh,
But
good.
yeah, that's something that that's one of the reasons we thought about closing. But then because those spaces are pretty small, right? It's just like, they're mostly like large homes. So we thought, okay, it's not very different that if you're in San Francisco and you with like, 4 or 5 roommates, and in those settings, you don't have professional cleanings and, and so we thought, well, it's actually better than living with roommates. So, we should keep it going. And if it happens, well, we have all the protocols and everybody has to stick together, and yeah, we'll react back then. But so far, so good.
Yeah, because it's 42% of your clientele like permanently live in short-term leases, right? Like the
Yeah.
digital nomads. So they're really not in a position to move anyways, right? They'd rather stay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some decide to go back with the family, maybe first time in 5 years, I don't know. Also, there's some that they decide to maybe move into like a fully, private environment because they really want to, I know, like, for example, Peter Levels, like the founder of Nomad List, is like totally like hunkered down. He doesn't want to, be. He just want to be by himself. I mean, there's people like that, so you have to respect that.
Yeah, definitely. And then what surprised you the most out of this whole entire situation? Took the world by storm, either good or bad. Like what surprised you the most?
Yeah, two things actually. I mean, the first one, and I must say, I'm pretty disappointed by our political leaders, and also especially the medical community and the scientific community, because I don't understand why they didn't predict that earlier. Because we had the information from China. I mean, it started in January. I don't understand why it's just only in March that they started to realize this is bad, because we knew that from before. And yeah, I just don't understand why at the beginning everybody, and including the scientists, they were saying like, yeah, this is not that bad, don't panic, blah blah. And now we in a full lockdown. It's just like, and we could have avoided that if we had been more proactive, like in the in some Asian countries. And the second thing is, I would never ever imagine that countries like Spain, Italy, and France would be able to do a full lockdown on their population. And I'm still amazed. And apparently now it's coming here.
Yeah, we're wondering that. You think like martial law, or that the army's going to roam the streets soon and say like, do not leave your house?
I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I think I think something I don't really understand is why California, I mean, the US in general seems to be like 2 weeks behind Europe in the number of cases. I know it's scaling quickly, but still per habitant it's not near as high as Europe. I don't understand why we should be 2 weeks later than them, because the virus comes from China, and so my hope is that it's actually not that bad here, because for some reason in the US it's a less social culture. It's less concentrated, it's more spread out. So I hope it's not going to be as bad as in Spain and Italy and France. And I hope the lockdowns are going to, that's the worst we're going to have, and it's not going to get worse.
Yeah, no, let's hope not too. Because you're from
But
Belgium originally, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so is there anything you guys are doing, like implementing to support like like the mental well-being of not just your team, but also the members?
Yeah, we try. I mean, we basically ramp up our online effort, right? We have an online community, and maybe in the past we neglected a little bit, and now we basically like we do much more stuff online, and we have a group that we're trying to make them as active as possible. We're trying to be very, I mean, to communicate just way much more than usual, online. And then among the team, we've always been remote, so for us it's not very new, but we also communicate more now, and we have way more meetings. Yeah.
No, I've actually stayed, I think it was over a year ago, at one of your Venice properties for a night. And it was really cool because you're right. They just communicated through WhatsApp, and that was nice. To kind of, so yeah, I'm imagining you guys are doing more communications. There's an operator actually here in California with 400 beds. Three-fourths of them cannot pay rent April 1st, right? So 300 beds, can't pay rent. They were in the restaurant industry, bartenders, actors. How are you handling? Are there any members throughout your entire portfolio that have gotten laid off, that are out of work, that have kind of told you like, oh, I can't pay rent, can I still stay? Has that happened at all?
No, because we don't have people on long-term leases. So we focus on people that need a place to stay or to live from 1 week to 3 months. So, and they usually pay in advance.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And also like we have a lot of our core community is location independent people or remote workers. So we don't have people working in restaurant or hotels and stuff like that. So no.
Oh, good. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting position to be in. And then all your properties, do you do a master lease on them?
No, and I'm glad we don't. Yeah. So yeah, the first 10, 15 properties we did, because, you need to build the brand, you need to, get track record and data. But from last year, we switched to a management agreement. So revenue share with the owners. And so, yeah, that's kind of saving us right now. Yeah. If we had only leases, that would be an issue. Yeah.
And the owners are like, have you approached some of the owners? Like, do you think they'll be flexible on terms?
Yeah, because the property we have under lease, we've been operating for like 3-4 years. So we have a really good relationship with the owners, and we already started discussion with them, and they all pretty accommodating. So I don't think that's going to be a big issue.
Oh, good. I love hearing that. That's awesome. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
And then, so after this all plays out, and again, we have no clue, again, March 20th, it's only getting worse. It's not getting better yet. But how do you see this all playing out, when we come out on the other side? Where do you see the co-living industry after this?
Yeah, co-living, I can't really tell. I mean, because for us, like I said, we focus more on like remote workers, and it's more like a remote work travel product. And so what we hope is that, because now it's the biggest like experiment on remote work ever, right? So we hope that remote work is going to be much more mainstream, and a lot of companies are going to embrace it and be more flexible with their employees. And so a lot more people are going to have flexibility. And then we hope that there's going to be a huge rebound in travel after this, because everybody is going to like be really tired of staying home, you know? So we hope we can take advantage of that. In terms of co-living and basically sharing a property with other people, I think, yeah, I mean, the good case scenario is that, you know, people really crave that social, you know, that social, the social relationship after all this over, and really get together. But there's also a scenario where people actually, you know, keep practicing social distancing for a while, and that would hurt the business, I think. Yeah.
No, I think you nailed it. I think everybody will rebound and be ready to travel and ready to socialize, and the remote work. I mean, there's a massive positive shift in remote work,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
where these
What
companies.
worries me a little bit is the social distancing and the fact that people are gonna, you know, maybe the elbow shakedown is just gonna be the norm now, and people, I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna depend how bad is it gonna get. If it goes away in a month or two, I think people will quickly forget. But if it lingers for like, you know, 6 months, then yeah.
No, you're right. And when I hear these 6 to 8 months numbers, I'm just like, oh, like I think everybody's just hoping it was 1 to 2 months. And, you know, you start hearing and
Yeah.
watching the trend and the other countries that are 11 days, you know, before us. Yeah. So let's definitely hope we pull out of that sooner than later. You guys, when did you officially, I know you started on Airbnb, like Santa Cruz, or like Airbnb, like what year was that?
Yeah, we started 4 years ago. Yeah.
Officially 4 years ago?
Yeah, officially 4 years ago. Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
Got it. And then what properties, and again, with this aside, what cities did you guys have you know, on your roadmap coming up? What were some different cities you guys are going to go into? Again, I don't know
Well,
if it might be on hold right
yeah,
now.
right now everything is on hold. But like we were working on a really cool property in Sydney in Australia, actually. Yeah, but that's on hold. We're working on like on second property in Lisbon, and yeah, we're working on Miami as well, and other projects. But yeah.
Got it.
But another silver lining is I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in you know, in properties. So when this is over.
Oh, meaning you think that's going to free up some more property to take over?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of, you know, a lot of hotel, you know, a lot of independent hotels are probably going to struggle a lot and will go under. And so there's probably going to be opportunities in that sector.
Because how many beds do you have at your largest property?
30.
30 in one property. How many beds do you have total in your whole portfolio?
I think more than 300.
Nice. No, I know you guys are growing fast, and you're one of the few that, again, you're jumping into all these different countries around the world. So any member can switch to any Outsite, right? They
Yeah,
just kind of become a
correct.
member, and yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, that's the idea.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love that, Emmanuel. Well, thank you again so much. So again, we're recording this on the 20th. It's going to air as a special episode on Saturday, March 21st. And again, I just loved your outlook on this and your approach and how to handle it. I think it was spot on. So thank you for coming on this today.
Thank you, Christine, and hopefully next time we meet in person.
Yes, exactly.
All
And
right.
on better circumstances, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
weekend.
You
Bye
too.
bye. Bye bye. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you want to learn more about co-living, you could check out my book on Amazon, The Co-Living Code. And of course, if you're looking for the perfect software to power your co-living concept, check out kindred.io, KNDRD.io. Thanks. And a quick thank you to SPX Agency for all of the graphics, animation, and design on our YouTube channel.